Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the End Zone. I'm Bill Shanks of Fox Sports 1670 AM in Macon. Some pretty good games are on the rundown tonight, including our game of the week, Baldwin at Westside. If you're looking for a score, it's right there at the bottom of your screen. Let's start with Northeast hosting Lamar County. The Raiders looking for their first win of the season tonight. They had been outscored 45-14 in the first 2 weeks of the season. Lamar County was 1-1 coming into the game after beating Spencer 32-8 last week. Here we go. Let me take you back to Thompson Stadium in Macon for some of the highlights of this game. Pretty good crowd on hand tonight at Thompson Stadium. Lamar County would get the ball going early on their own 28. Maurice Bludser on the keeper, the quarterback all the way. Watch him run right there. Not too bad right there all the way to the Raiders 28. 44-yard gain. 2 plays later from the 25, Bludser hands off to number 2, Robert Blunt. Right side, he's going to sneak in there for the touchdown. Trojans on top early. Folks from Barnesville are happy campers right there. Lamar County up by the score of 7-0. Second quarter now, Raiders on their own 20. Handoff to number 14, Curtis Wisby. Watch this run. He's in traffic. He gets out, and he is going to the end zone all the way. How about 80 yards for the touchdown for the Raiders right there to put Northeast in the ball game. Great run right there. The PAT would be good as the fans celebrated right there in the stands. And that would make it 7-7 with 10:39 left in the first half. Lamar County bounces back. Watch this, the handoff, and boom, right there. He gets his ribs rocked by Eric Cleveland of Northeast. But 2 plays later, shotgun, Bludser back for Lamar. His pass is tipped, but it's caught by Jarvis Merritt. He comes up with it for the touchdown for Lamar County. The PAT made it 14-7, and that was the halftime score. The Trojans from Lamar County would hold on to win 21-13 over Northeast. The Raiders are now 0-3 on this season. Now to Henderson Stadium, Rutland at Central. Here you go. And there's those kids running up. They look like they're Georgia football players running from the law. All right, Central's going to start out now with the ball here. Passing game. Tommy Cummings is going to launch it, and it's going to be intercepted by number 1, Jerkemi Sanford, who's going to run for a while and a while and a long while. Had all the way down to the 20-yard line right there, but Rutland would not be able to do anything. And at the end of the first quarter, it would be a scoreless game. Rutland unable to score after the interception, but they would stop Central from moving forward, forcing Central to punt here. And then they would get the ball back, Rutland would. And once again, Jerkemi Sanford would get going. He would run the ball all the way in for this long touchdown right here for Rutland. Nice run there. And that's going to give them 6 points on the board right there. They would make the PAT and by Gus Barrigan, and that would make it 7-0. Rutland out on top. Central now gets the ball back and begins their drive with a run coming up. Number 31, Jadarius Meadows, is going to take off. Nice long run. Here he goes right there. Brought down on the sideline. Then Central's quarterback Christian Smith tries to sneak a run, and he's going to be brought down and sacked. Desmond Phillips then will continue their drive with a long run. Central's quarterback would then get it, and the passing game would get going for the Chargers. They would get this touchdown right here. This game was scored at 7, tied at 7 at halftime, but Rutland would come in back and win this game. 90 seconds left. They would have a 105 touchdown run on an interception by Shaquineth Williams, a freshman. They would win with 90 seconds left, and the Hurricanes beat the Chargers in a wild game that had a great finish there at the very end. We'll head to Fort Valley next on the show for a check on the top team in AAA, the Peach County Trojans. More scores and highlights are still to come on the End Zone right here on 41 NBC. Welcome back to our show. I'm Bill Shanks. What can you say about Peach County? They are just a dominant team, the dominant program right now in Middle Georgia. Chad Campbell's crew was rated as the top team in AAA this week. They had outscored opponents 55-0 in their first 2 weeks. Tonight, a Region 2 AAA game against the Veterans Warhawks, the new team in Houston County. Tough matchup for a new school. Let's go and check out the action now in Peach County, in Fort Valley, for some of the highlights of this game. And we start off with the 5-star drive of the week right here. You go Peach County with the ball. First quarter, Travis Richmond. He had himself a great game. Takes off, bursts the sideline, and is going to get all the way down to the 3-yard line. 32-yard run. Then Richmond again using his strength, pounce over the end zone for the score. It's 6-0 Peach out on top. That was the 5-star drive of the week. Later in the first quarter, Peach with the ball. Richmond again putting a clinic on. He's going to burst up 55 yards again. This kid is sick with the football in his hands. 13-0 there. Then this play will make your head spin a little bit. Brett Montgomery drops back, delivers the ball. It's tipped, and Chris Holt will catch it, and he's going to take off. How about some speed right there? That's going to make it 20-0. Peach County cruising in this ball game. Now veterans will show a little bit of life here on the ensuing kickoff. Starts as a disaster. A fumble right there. Devontae Mitchell is going to get it back and take off and go all the way for a touchdown right there for the veterans team, the Warhawks. That's going to make it 20-7. They're trying to show some life there. Best run of the night. Here you go right here. Richmond up the middle. Check out the stiff arm spin move combo. Richmond in for another Peach County touchdown. Guess what? This was all Peach County. It was 27-7 there, and they cruised tonight over the Veterans Warhawks 62-7. No big surprise there. Private school action now. Stratford is going to be hosting Gatewood here from Eatonton. The Gators, they're the Eagles coming out of the field there. And the first quarter, Stratford with the ball. Only a minute has ticked off the clock, and Marquez Lemon's going to run it for the first touchdown, the first of many. PAT would be up and good, and Stratford would be on top by a touchdown, 7-0. Here you go, first quarter still. Stratford with the ball, still in the first quarter. Patrick Smith hands the ball off to Lemon, who's going to take it in for another touchdown. Lemon is getting hot a little bit here. That's going to be a PAT to make it 14-0. Stratford now on top. Now second quarter now. The Eagles are going to have the ball. And again, second quarter, Stratford, Lemon again, another run, another touchdown for the Eagles. That makes it 21-0 after this PAT. And Stratford was cruising early. Second quarter, though, Gatewood with the ball. John Taylor is going to make a successful 25-yard pass right here to Damian Bacon for the Gators' first touchdown of the name. I may have that last name wrong. I apologize. That made it 21-7 Stratford, but this was all Eagles right here. Patrick Smith will come up with another handoff coming up to Austin Simmons, who will take it to the house for another touchdown for the Eagles on this play right here. This was all Stratford. They bounced back after the tough loss to Deerfield-Windsor last week. 53-28 is the final. Eagles now 2-1, and the Gators fall to 1-2 on the season. All right, don't go away. The game of the week is next. Baldwin at Westside. This is the End Zone on 41 NBC. Now the game we've all been waiting for, Baldwin at Westside, our game of the week. The Braves from Milledgeville were rated 6th in AAA this week, while the Seminoles rated 4th. These two teams had been dominant in the first 2 weeks of the season. Who would break through tonight in the first big game in this unbelievable region in Middle Georgia? Here we go, out to the Ed DeFore Sports Complex for the Braves and the Seminoles. Not a bad crowd on hand tonight out at Ed DeFore for these two teams, and it was a pretty good matchup on paper coming in. I don't know if it finished like that. Here come the Seminoles now, and they'll start us out. Sparse crowd on that side. West side, Daniel Duhart, quarterback back. It's Shannon Smith for 15 yards, but they were unable to score on this drive. That was kind of a theme throughout the night, unfortunately. Baldwin would get it there. DeAndre Thomas is going to get it, runs for a touchdown, 6 yards right there. The PAT would be up and good for the Braves. That would make it 7-0 for the Braves. West side now will get it on a return, kick return here for the Seminoles. Trayvon Panther is going to take the kickoff, follow his blockers, go up the middle, a couple of good moves right there, and go 60 yards for the return. That was about the only bright spot. They would try a field goal here at the end of the first quarter, but it would be no good, and Baldwin would still be up by the score of 7-0. Baldwin gets it back. DeAndre Thomas again is going to hand it off to number 41, who's going to get in there for a 2-yard touchdown. The PAT would be good, and the Baldwin Braves are cruising over West Side in their own home park. How about that? West Side now will try to get it again. Daniel Duhart under pressure. Look at this defense from the Braves. Well, they're known for that defense. They just could not score. The Seminoles could. Then West Side again. We're back to pass, looking, scrambling, throws it, and it's intercepted by Baldwin, who's going to take it all the way for a 45-yard touchdown. They would get the PAT to make it 21-0. And I don't know if you're going to believe this, folks. The Baldwin Braves have come to Macon and beat the Seminoles from West Side in their own home field 35-0. I'm shocked by that. I mean, I really didn't expect that to happen. West Side's got a good team, but they did not play well at all tonight, and the Braves move on to 3-0 on the season. Up next, Dustin Wilson joins me with more scores from around the state of Georgia. We're back with more right after this. Join me every weekday afternoon from 3 until 6 for the Bill Shanks Show on Fox Sports 1670 AM in Macon and online at foxsports1670.com. We talk sports and take your phone calls. We're also the home of the Dan Patrick Show, Jim Rome, and tomorrow it's the Saturday Scoreboard with Bobby Pope. 41 NBC's Dustin Wilson is here now and has some additional scores from around the state of Georgia. Dustin?
Yeah, Bill, it's been a great night of high school football. Real impressed with Baldwin in that game against Westside. They're really showing the speed and playmaking ability. Let's go ahead and get to some scores for you across middle Georgia. We start things off with Perry. The Perry Panthers upset Mary Persons Bulldogs 21-7. Perry got the running game going, 278 yards total rushing. Trey King had 112 yards on 19 carries. He had a touchdown. Calvin Howard had 14 carries and 102 yards, and Malik Bailey had 73 yards on 10 carries. The Bulldogs had the ball inside Perry's 10-yard line 4 times and failed to score. 47-7, West Lawrence Raiders defeated the Huskies, and the Raiders are now 2-1. Houston County 37. The Bears defeated Crisp County 37-12. They moved to 2-0 after being off last week. The Dublin Fighting Irish 36. East Lawrence 7. The Fighting Irish 4th in AA and are averaging 38.5 points per game. The Putnam War Eagles 34. Crawford County Eagles 12. Putnam County now 2-1 and lost to Dublin last week. Moving on to Bleckley County 38. South Bullock 14. The Royals shut out last week 35 by Wilcox, 35-0 by Wilcox County. They're now 2-1, a nice bounce back game for the Royals. The Hawkinsville Red Devils, they're averaging 35 points per game, defeated Brookstone 20-14. Hawkinsville running back Fabian Forrest, 26 carries. Get this, folks, 257 yards and 2 touchdowns. One of the best running backs maybe in the state. The Red Devils are now 3-0 and are at Marion next week. The Athens Academy Spartans won 29-0, defeating FPD. That momentum that FPD had, looks like they're losing a little bit of that. They're kind of jumping into that GHSA tough schedule, and so we'll see if they can bounce back after that tough loss. The Westfield Hornets 28, Trinity Christian 3. Westfield is now 3-0. Trinity Christian moves to 2-1. Mount DeSales 48, Flint River 32. The Cavaliers, they have scored 84 points in the last 2 games and are now 3-0. The Cavs running back Chris Swain had 9 carries and 147 yards. Cavs QB Bradley Smith went 5 for 7, 132 yards passing. Bill, that's a lot of offense. There's been a lot of offense this tonight, a lot of offense across the board for a lot of these teams in Middle Georgia.
No doubt about that. It was a pretty good show. Here we go. Pretty good night of action tonight. Tell you, I'm really surprised by that Perry score. Kudos to them for beating a tough Mary Persons team tonight. That was impressive. Mount DeSales has got to be committed too. They're off to a very good start, but Baldwin beating Westside, that is the shock of the night, 35-0. Braves win, so do the Phillies. Braves still a game out. That's our show for tonight. Thank you for being with us. We're back next week for more high school football highlights. For now, I'm Bill Shanks. For all of us at 41 NBC, good night.